Hi friends, welcome back to Asagao Academy with me, Abot. So Maya's laughing at Mimi Santos, which again, you laugh first and then you help them up. Oh, we froze again. Come on. Oh well. Anyways, let's go eat. I'm totally starved. She led me out of the room before I even had the chance to respond. The cafeteria was buzzing with students excited for the new year. The only people as nervous looking as I felt were the table of skittish, wide-eyed first years. That is exactly what it's like when you go to university. All the first years are like, oh my god, you're all so old. And all the upperclassmen are just like, I don't know, not enough coffee. I stepped into line behind Mai, taking an empty plastic tray. We shuffled through, asking for helpings from the sulky cafeteria workers when we passed something that looked good. With full trays, Mai led me straight to a table in the back where a few students were already sitting. Mai sat down and I took a seat across from her. Come on. Hi, Mai. How was your break? It was good. I went to Italy and Spain. Dad fell off a ski jet and broke his ankle. I think it's actually a jet ski, but whatever. How do you break your ankle? How do you break your ankle when you fall off the jet ski? I don't know. Oh, God. The remixes, they're gonna be so good. It's better now, though. Oh. Well, that's nice. Wow. The sass. The sass. I expected to be introduced, but the girl turned back to her group of friends and Mai turned back to me. She began to assault her food with a fork and tell me in a practically minute-by-minute account about her fleeting romance last summer with a boy she met on the beach that didn't go further than a few salty kisses. So, is this part of Japan, like, south of the equator? My geography's not great, because if it's south of the equator, then, like, the seasons are reversed from what it is for me, but I didn't think that was the case. I don't know. I sat back and let Mai talk. For the first time since arriving on campus, I felt like I was finally able to breathe. I do that too when I'm hungry. I picked up my Brussels sprouts and studied Mai as she spoke. The more she talked, the more I began to notice the small details about her.
Well...
Oh, excuse me. She had a high, songbird voice.
What?
She was dynamic, her face twisting this way and that into exaggerated expressions as she spoke. I love it. She laughed often. She imitated people in wildly unflattering voices, seemingly unrelated to her actual opinion of them. Impressions are hard, man. I can't do voices, but I can do, like, the way people speak and their mannerisms. But most notably, she talked. A lot. I didn't find this particularly annoying, as it filled the silence and she hardly ever asked questions that required my full attention. Just as Mai was rounding off a shockingly detailed account of the time she accidentally walked in on her friend's older brother in the act of changing, a flash of familiar green caught my eye. I glanced over. My poor computer is just chugging along. Hey, that's him! Huh? Who? I leaned across the table to whisper just in case you could hear me through the ambient chatter of the lunchroom. The boy from the train. That's him.
What?
Jared? Did he go to Jared? Yeah, with the weird green jacket and swoopy hair. Accurate description of poor Jared's hair. He just picked up his tray and was walking past us when something seemed to catch his eye. Oh, you. What is this music? I looked up at him, suddenly realizing he was talking to me. Hana! I met you on the train. How are things settling down for you? Oh, he's so sweet. That's so nice. Really well. I found my roommate and she's been helping me out. I gestured to Mai, who was thunderstruck. In fact, looking around, everyone was. People stopped eating to turn and stare at Jared and me, my shoulders bunched around my neck. Well, if you ever need any help, I'll be around. Third year, right? I nodded.
All right.
Some of my friends are in that year. Of course, they can't compare to me, but I'll give them the heads up to look out for you. God, that's so self-centered and I love it. He flashed a dazzling smile, then winked. It's the least I can do for such a cute girl. Well, I'll see you around. Oh, I would if someone as gorgeous as this Jared is supposed to be said called me cute, I'd be like, thanks, because I'm also a super awkward person. But that's so sweet. I watched, a torrent of thoughts raging through my head as he took a seat next to a bunch of guys who were all wearing the same jacket. Accurate. That's Jared. She tore her eyes away from him and looked at me.
He's so cute.
He's the most beautiful guy in school.
Oh, Jared.
The sound is so good and the voice actors are so good. Well, all the Normal Boots guys voice themselves. So, I mean, but the girl who does Mai, I love her. I can't believe he just looked at me. I looked at Mai. Her cheeks were glowing an indecent pink. Why do they all wear those jackets? Aren't all the guys supposed to wear blue blazers as part of their uniform? No, they're allowed to. You know Jared? That girl turned back around and was looking at me with sudden interest. I wonder why. Social pariah. Did I know him? I only talked to him on the train for a few minutes, so not really. We weren't friends or anything. But looking around, Mai and this girl weren't the only ones who were interested. Everybody seemed to be listening in. They seemed so surprised when he talked to me. Maybe a little white lie couldn't hurt? I think this is the time for I guess so, because the whole point is that I'm Hana, and so that is absolutely what I would answer. The girl looked me up and down as if she were inspecting a piece of furniture for purchase. Ugh, I don't like you already. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself earlier, did I? I'm Mimi. Nice to meet you. So how did you meet Jared? She's even more Valley Girl for some reason. Just when girls are so bitchy, they're Valley Girls to me. Because it's the most annoying female voice to my ears. Oh, come on. Oh, we stuck. Oh, come off it, Mimi. Jared's not interested. Mai and Mimi stared at each other for a few seconds, having some kind of silent mental battle. Then Mimi turned away and continued to eat. That means Mai won. Sorry, it was clear that she was just trying to get in with you for her own agenda, so I cut her off. Get in with me? Why? Well, you asked me about those guys in their jackets, right? Those are their Normal Boots Club jackets. They're... what? What's Normal Boots Club? What's the... it's the Normal Boots guys! I love that Jared's just looking in the mirror at himself. Oh, and even Jacques has a little... oh, that's so cute. It's a club we have at school here. It's totally exclusive and full of only the coolest students. I don't think they meant for it to be exclusive. It just kind of became exclusive because they were like, hey, we're friends who all hang out and do the same things. They get together and play video games. Which would not... when I was in high school, that would not make you cool. Or something. Yeah, when I was in high school, playing video games the way these guys play video games was not cool. That one right there is John, also known as Jontron. His bird's name is Jacques. John is also the president of the drama club here at school. That sounds about right. Next to him is PBG. He and John founded the Normal Boots Club together. PBG is one of the best soccer players on our team. Then there's Gerard. People call him the completionist because he's obsessed with completing things. He has the biggest itty-bitty kitty collection I've ever seen. That's adorable, and I love it. Next to him is Jared, also known as Pro Jared. He's a model. Then there's Satchbag, but everyone calls him Satch. He's crazy smart. Those guys over there are Paul, Nick, and Josh. They write a column in this newspaper. That's how I feel about newspapers, apparently. In the school newspaper called Continue. Paul, the one standing up, is the student council president. And the guy on the end there is Shane. He knows more about video games than anyone, ever. I love trivia and stuff like that. I think I would try to be friends with Shane, if I could. She exhaled a dreamy sigh into her mashed potatoes. So, how would someone, join the Normal Boots Club? Totally reasonable question. You don't choose the boots, Hannah. The boots choose you. That sounds like something Elle Woods would say. What does that even mean? You have to be presented with the boots to be in the club, and they're, like, super selective. What are the boots? The club has this boots statue. It's like the one on their patches, but it's gold-plated. It's their mascot, I guess. They do this weird initiation ritual with it. So it's a cult. Ritual? Oh, God. I hear they fill a room with candles and wear these totally creepy robes during initiation. This year 2 girl said she saw it once, and they were all, like, chanting around the boots, and it sounded like they were talking backwards. So, okay, wait, if they're all... I guess they could have all joined the club at different times, but if they're all in the club, I don't know. But I don't believe her. And even if it's true, I don't care if they're a cult, because they're all really hot. True fact. Do they have a lot of friends? Yeah. Tons of friends. I'd say they're the most popular kids in school. I mean, everyone in the school totally looks up to them. I bet they could get any girl in school, too. Or boy, for that matter. Hey, way to not discriminate, Mai. Way to not discriminate. Hey, are you gonna eat your cake? I shook my head and pushed the plastic tray across the table to her. For the remainder of lunch, I listened to Mai talk about Jared through mouthfuls of half-dissolved frosting. That's so adorable. Back at the dorm, I sorted through the pile of textbooks the school left for me. My radio was playing a poppy tune, equal parts music to static. I guess if you're kind of out in the country, you don't get a lot of actual sound. Mai fervently scribbled in a notebook at her desk, hunched over it with a strikingly poor posture. Because that's what happens when we're writing, we do this.
Hey!
Hey, Mai? She didn't bother to look up. Am I supposed to have a textbook for History 309? She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbook. A demure man in a powdered wig frowned at me from the cover. It's not what history textbooks look like. I can tell you that right now. I have a lot of them. Yeah, this one. I sighed. I don't have that one. The school must have missed it. Mai shrugged and set the textbook back in her pile. They have a bunch at the library. You can just check one out. Where's the library? Mai riffled through her notebook and wrote something down. She tore the page out and handed me a crudely drawn map. Oh. Okay. Well, I'll be back in a little bit. Ooh, going to the library. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. By the time I realized I was holding the map upside down, the sun was setting. The library was much larger than I expected. The walls lined from floor to ceiling with books of all sizes on rough wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. Oh, I love libraries. A recognizably green and gray jacket was bent behind the counter. Normal boots. I briefly considered running away. Hannah, you're so shy. Oh, I was you, like, in junior high and in elementary school.
Hey.
Can I help you? Too late. Yeah. The school forgot to give me one of my textbooks. I was told I could get it here. Which one is it? The History 309 textbook. He stepped from behind the counter and motioned for me to follow. We dodged between the aisles in a comfortable silence. Those are the best kinds of silences. You seem friendly enough. I should say something. What was his name again? Shane? Gerard? John? No, not John. fetch. Huh? Just, blurting out people's names. Totally main character thing to do. Oh, you work here. Ugh. Of course he worked here. He chuckled, dimples appearing in his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the librarian's assistant. It's my second year, and I love it. I get to help people find books that speak to them. Oh my god, you speak to my soul. His eyes twinkled like a kid's on Christmas. Your book's right down here. He stopped at a row of thick, dusty books. Was this all history? Yes. And pulled out the book with the powder-wigged man I saw earlier. Thanks. That was the most adorable giggle. Oh my god. Whoever does the voices for Hana and Mai, you two are amazing. He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need help with anything else? I wanted to make a good impression on the Normal Boots Club, but I couldn't come up with anything. No. Thanks.
Copacetic.
Oh, beautiful. You're welcome. As we headed back through the cavernous library, my unease melted away. We weren't talking, but just being near him felt like being wrapped in a soft blanket. I resisted the urge to snuggle up to him. It was a very difficult urge to resist. I know that feel, girl. I know that feel. We neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying students. As we passed, one of them shifted. A? I'm Canadian. Whenever you say A, that's not how we use that word. Something white flew past my face. A thick piece of triangular paper lay at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside of it. If I was just a hair slower, it would have hit me in the face. Oh, the worst. The students snickered, and I recognized the boys that made fun of my hair this morning among them. My heart dropped. I scanned my memory for anything I might have done to offend them, but came up with nothing. Some people are just jerks, Hana. Some people are just jerks. My hand started to shake. I hid it behind my back, trying to think of some way to defend myself. Why did you do that? A, what do you mean? We were just messing around. Are you suggesting we did it on purpose? Yeah, that's exactly what she's suggesting, because you guys are assholes. I faltered. There was nothing I could say. I was outnumbered. They would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was. No, Sorry. One of the boys held his hand up for the paper. I inched closer to give it to him, angry at myself for being so compliant. Oh, Hana! I wish I were. A gentle warmth closed over my hand and took the paper from me. Satch examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would be better if you cut the corners before you folded it. Okay. He placed the paper on the table. The boy looked at him in sheer awe. Be careful, though. You almost hit her, and that would have been awful. My hands began to sweat as panic shifted through me, afraid of the response, but... Geez, we're sorry. We'll be careful next time. Yeah, it was an accident. They apologized? Thanks. I appreciate it. He gave them a wide smile and continued off down the aisles. I followed closely, my legs weak. Kill him with kindness. I'm more of a passive-aggressive, kill him with kindness kind of person. Don't tell me they stopped because of him. Simply because I was with him? I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard I knew my voice would shake. We reached the front counter and he scanned the history book. My lips trembled as I willed myself to say something, anything to thank him. He tilted his head to the side. What books do you like to read? Fiction? Good. Descriptive. Fiction is a very descriptive word to use. It kind of is, because it's like fiction, not fiction, whatever. He chuckled. I just finished a good book. I think it'd be right up your alley if you don't mind me saying so. How would you know? He reached under the counter, pulled out a thick green book and passed it to me. A man in black stood on the front, hugging a woman in royal robes. Oh my god, I think it's The Princess Bride. It's long, but it's one of my favorites. The Princess Betrothed. Oh my god, it's totally The Princess Bride! Oh, which is my favorite movie ever. I know things can be tough transferring to a new school. If you're ever worried, just read this. It'll transport you 100 miles away in a second. That's what books do. Tears stung my eyes, so I ducked my head.
Satch.
Thank you, Satch. For more than just the books. You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I got your name.
My name is Hana Mizuno.
I'm a transfer student.
Hana.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Hana. Let me know how you like the book. I will. Oh, that's so sweet. That couldn't have gone better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing. Like being doused in the mist of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks hot, I left the library, 2 surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but Mai was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of a notebook. Every few minutes, she released a long, drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil whined against the paper. I wonder what she's writing. I lowered my book and took the bait. Is something wrong, Mai? She let out another dreary sigh. I hope Jared notices me this year. Oh. Does Jared know you like him? Mai whirled around in feigned shock.
What?
I don't like Jared. Really? Oh. I closed my book and set it aside, deciding to play along. Well, have you at least tried talking to him? No. I mean, I have before. Why don't you try again? She bobbed her head from side to side, considering this like it never crossed her mind before. Oh, girls are so cute. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Satisfied, I picked my book back up. Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hana?
What?
Huh? Me? No, never. Really? Never? Never. I bet you 10,000 yen that you meet a totally cute boy here and fall in love by the end of the school year. Ooh, timeline. You're crazy. I buried my face back in my book, barring Mai from any further discussion. Fall in love by the end of the year? Me? If I were a betting kind of girl, I'd take that bet. Oh, so cute. Okay, I'm gonna leave that off there. And we're gonna come back next time to some more Asagao Academy and Hana being totally adorable. Okay, bye!